Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapada Antikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहनललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च श्रीकृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी विश्वानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So welcome all for today's Bhagavad class. We are in chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita, verse number 3 of Bhagavad Gita. So, verse number 1 and 2, we saw that Krishna says that what I am giving is the knowledge of bhakti and realization of bhakti. And this can be understood by person who are non-envious. So, and therefore, why this knowledge is spoken to Arjuna? Because Arjuna was not envious of Krishna. And therefore, this confidential knowledge was given to Arjuna. And then we see that how if one knows the confidential knowledge about Krishna, one is relieved from all the miseries. And what are the 8 chapters of knowledge of pure bhaktis? Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, and this is the king of all nations, king of all secrets. This Pavitramidam, that is pure of all. This Uttamam, that is transcendental. And we'll say this Pratyaksha Agamam, that is one can get direct experience also. And then it is also Dharmyam, perfection of religion, and Susukam Kartum, that is it can be easily and joyfully performed, and Avyayam is everlasting. So these are the 8 characteristics of the pure bhakti which we saw in the last class, the second verse. And now from the third verse, now the question is, who cannot attain Krishna? So we'll see in this verse. Ashachadhana purusha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapya mam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. So those who doesn't have Shraddha or Shraddhadhana, so one who doesn't have faith, who is Ashraddhadhana, they cannot attain Krishna. Those who are not faithful in his devotional service cannot attain me. O conqueror of enemies, therefore they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. So, for anything in this material world, one needs faith. If one gets admission in college, he has that faith that if I get admission in this college, my life will be good. I'll be achieving good things in my life. And therefore, because of this faith, one goes to that college. Similarly, if one takes to any path in devotion service, that means one has that faith that if I go to this path, my life will be good, my life will be glorious. And therefore, this has to be understood that if one doesn't have faith, nothing works. Even the thing of medicines also, we see that the doctors say that please have faith on this. So if the person has no faith, then the medicine also cannot cure that person. And therefore, faith is very important ingredient in our life. Suppose we are sitting in one satsang, so we have faith that the ceiling will not fall down, and therefore we are sitting there. If somebody tells us that, oh, the ceiling is going to fall down, nobody will sit there. So we have faith while we are walking, that when we are walking, there are not big holes where will go down. So therefore we are walking very nicely because we have faith. While driving, we have faith that the highway will be good and there not be so much big holes that one will get down or die. So this faith is very important component in our life. And therefore, one who is not faithful in the devotional service, so one doesn't have faith in the process, in the devotees, in the books, cannot attain Krishna. And therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in material. So again, they will come to take birth and again they will die in this material world. Purport: the faithless cannot accomplish this process of devotional service. That is the purport of this verse. Faith is created by association with devotees. So how faith is created? To associate with devotees who have faith. Like how a person becomes a drunkard, how a person becomes a smoker, because he associates with somebody who is a drunkard or a smoker. And because of that association with that person, his life is changed for the bad. Similarly, if one wants to create faith in Krishna, one needs to associate with devotees. And how the association happens? Either with the hearing, or taking prasadam, or doing things together. So that is how one associates with other person and this faith is created. Unfortunate people, even after hearing all the evidence of Vedic literature from great personalities, still have no faith in the God. So these people, they are sitting there, but they're not associating. They're not hearing actually. They're just listening in one from 1 year and then just doubting the things. Therefore, they don't have faith on the speaker that, oh, what he's speaking is good for me. Let me hear. So such person cannot still have no faith and cannot we cannot do much for them. They are hesitant and cannot stay fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. Thus, faith is the most important factor for progress in Krishna consciousness. This faith is most important factor, and therefore we are chanting daily. We have faith that by this chanting we are coming closer to Krishna. We are attending Mangal Arati, we are singing Damodar, we are doing so many things in devotion. Why? Because each and every activity we have faith that we are coming closer to Krishna, and therefore faith is most important factor. And that is the first step in Krishna consciousness, and even the last step in Krishna consciousness, that one has faith that in different process. So faith keeps on increasing. It keeps on increasing. First, the person has faith on the sadhu, then the faith on the mantra, then the faith on the books, and then similarly he has faith on all the different aspects of bhakti and he progresses further. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said that faith is the complete conviction that simply by serving Krishna, by simply the Krishna, the Supreme God, one can achieve all perfection. So this faith, that what is the faith? That if I serve Krishna, everything will be done. I will achieve all the perfection. So this is the highest faith one can have and the best one can have. That if we do work for Krishna, then everything can be done. This is real faith as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 4:31-14. Yatha tarur mula nisichanena tapyanti tatskanda bhujopashakha prano pahara cha ya yathendriyanam tatheva sarvaharanam achyutetya. So by giving the water to the root of the tree, one satisfies its branches, twigs, leaves, and by supplying food to the stomach, one satisfies all systems of the body. So this is the faith one has, and we have seen this practically actually, that when we water the root of the tree, whole the tree is nourished. But if we try to water each and every leaf, each and every tree, the whole tree becomes malnourished. So therefore, we should know that we should just need to water the root of the tree. And how good it is that there's a huge tree and you have to just water the root of the tree and the whole thing is done. How easy it is and how simple it is. Otherwise, if you try to water each and every leaf, each and every tree, how much time will it take and how much endeavor it will take? If the more the big tree is, the more time and endeavor it will take, and the results will be minimum. Whereas you can water the root of the tree at any time. However the big tree is, you can water it anytime. And therefore, this is very important analogy. And similarly, the second analogy is, and by supplying food to the stomach, one satisfies all the senses of body. So the food can be put in the nose, eyes, or anything, but it will just create disturbance. But when the food is put in the stomach, it gives lot of strength to the whole body. And therefore, one should always do the needful. What? By engaging the transcendent service of the Supreme Lord, one automatically satisfies all the demigods and all other living entities. So all other demigods, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Surya, Brahma, Jishvi, all are satisfied if we perform devotional service. Sometimes some people say, if I perform devotional service to Krishna, the all demigods will be angry. No, it's never the case. They will never become angry. They will actually be happy. See, when they become envious or angry is when we do tapasya and our ambition is to take their post. Like somebody wants to become Indra, somebody wants to become Chandra, then they're envious and they do some thing to us. But if we are doing devotional service to go back to God, they're happy because we are not against their post or doing something for them. Similarly, when we do some tapasya to some demigod for obtaining some boon, then they are saying that, oh, he can get so many things, but he's asking such small things. So then they become a bit unhappy. But when we ask for liberation and all, or going back to God, that is chanting the holy name, serving devotees and all, they're also happy because they're also devotees of Lord. So therefore, one should not conclude that if we serve Krishna, then they'll be unhappy. No, no way. So if one is convinced of this philosophy of life, that is faith. So what does faith means? Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kahe Shuddhida Nishchay Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita Hai. Faith means unflinching trust in something sublime, that when one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he did not act in relation to the material world with obligation to family traditions, humanity, nationality, fruitive activities, and other things. So that is called faith. That doesn't mean that one does opposition or some aggression. No, one does the needful. But his main objective is that he serves Krishna and he pleases Krishna only. And when he does so, all other things are taken care of. So that is the whole thing. Therefore, after reading Bhagavad Gita, one should promptly come to the conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita. One should give up all other engagements and adopt the service of the Supreme Lord, Krishna, the personality of Godhead. If one is convinced of this philosophy of life, that is faith. Now, the development of that faith is the process of Krishna consciousness. There are three divisions of Krishna consciousness men. In the third class, there are those who have no faith. Even if they are officially engaged in devotional service, they cannot achieve the highest perfectional stage. Most probably they will slip after some time. They may become engaged, but because they haven't complete conviction and faith, it is very difficult for them to continue Krishna consciousness. So these are called like neophyte devotees, very new. They are attracted by some personality, by something here and there, and they start devotional service and they say, I want Diksha and all these things. But we should not encourage such people to take Diksha and all. Why? Because after some time they will slip, because they have not achieved some conviction or some faith that whatever doing, they are just doing because of some popularity thing. Because they see, oh, this person is very popular, let me take Diksha from this person. Oh, he's like do this, I also want a guru also. So these are their thoughts that I should also tell I have one guru, that's all. So they are not very firm, and therefore we should test a person for a year or something, that whether this person is firm or not. So after a year or two, whether he has the same conviction or not, and then we should encourage that person to go further. Without that, we should not encourage only that person. We should first try to discourage that person and check whether the person or candidate is fit or not. Otherwise, even if he takes Diksha, what happens is he will do Guru Avadya or Guru Aparad, and then his life will be completely miserable and failure. And if we are not taken, it will be good actually for him, because at least there will be some grace, saving grace. But because they were taken and not following, his life will be double miserable. And therefore, for some time, we should check that person. And also we should try to encourage and uplift that person, help that person also to come to that stage that he after some time may be eligible for to take Diksha or something. But nevertheless, we should never encourage any person to go for that in the initial time. We should definitely check, because in any school or college also, they take an interview of the person before they are entering that college or school. It is not that anybody can enter there. No, they require some certain conditions, or then only they are entered. And as you go higher, somebody wants to become engineer, doctor, or somebody. There are more conditions, and so, if they want to go more higher, there are more conditions. So eligibility is required at any place. Similarly, for here also there is some eligibility which is required, and therefore they should be thoroughly checked. So such person will slip after some time. So they may be engaged, but because they have not complete confusion in faith, it is very difficult for them to continue in Krishna consciousness. So bhakti can be started by anybody at any point of time, but to continue requires lot of devotion and everything. So many things are required. So we have practically experience in discharging our missionary activities. Some people come and apply themselves to Krishna consciousness with some hidden motive. And as soon as they are economically a little well situated, they give up the process and take to their old ways again. So we have also seen in our Krishna conscious movement that so many people want job, they want to get married, and there are so many motives which they have, except for growing devotion service. So they start chanting and doing so many things. And as soon as they get job or something, they get married to some devotee, and then they stop chanting and doing all the things. So this is not good, because they're going again to back to old habits. See, one may start with any motive initially, but one needs to change that and come to a conclusion that what is to be done is to be done. And this is good for me. So one did not divert. It's not so good, and it's very harmful for their life also. It's only by faith that one can advance in Krishna consciousness. As far as the development of faith is concerned, one who is well versed in the literature of devotional service and has attained the stage of firm faith is called the first class person in Krishna consciousness. So, as soon as we gradually interact with devotees, we are associated with our faith will gradually increase. And then what will happen? Where it is developed, one is well versed in the literature of devotional service and attain the stage of firm faith is called a first class person. So, such as devotee um, who has faith and knowledge. So the lowest person doesn't have faith also, doesn't have knowledge also. The highest person have faith and knowledge also. And the middle person has faith, but does not have full complete knowledge. He's in the process of knowledge. So if you ask him some questions, that person will fumble. But at the same time, his faith will not be shaken. So this is a middle person. So at least we should be in the middle person. At least we should come to that level that our faith is not shaken and we can continue our devotional service. And gradually should try to go to the Uttama level where the faith is also there and the wisdom is also there. So as it's only by faith that one can advance in Krishna consciousness. As far as the development of faith is concerned, one who is well versed in the literature of devotional service and has attained the stage of first is called a first class devotee. So two things are required. One is firm faith, which so many people have. But second, the firm faith should be also backed by literatures. One should also know literatures. One should understand Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and all, so that his bhakti is not stopped. Then we should try to do that. Little by little every day, we should read, we should hear, and we should go. And in the second class are those who are not very advanced in understanding the devotional scriptures, but who are automatically have faith that Krishna Bhakti or service to Krishna is the best course, and so in good faith they have taken it up. So they have firm faith that I want to practice Krishna consciousness. But if you ask 2-3 questions, they'll fumble. So these are like a second class person. At least we should come to this level. So second class, at least we should come to this level so that our bhakti is not stopped. We should never remain in the first level. First level is very, very dangerous. We should come to second level at least and should try to go to the third level. We should try every day. And it's not a easy process. It will take its own time. It will take its own journey. And it will happen gradually. We cannot fast forward it. And therefore, we should do our best to do things. Thus, they are superior to the third class who have neither perfect knowledge of the scriptures nor good faith, but by association and simply are trying to follow. The third class person in Krishna consciousness may fall down, but when one is in the second class, he does not fall down. And for the first class person in Krishna consciousness, there are no chance of fall down. So at least we should come to second level that one does not fall down. And for first class, there is no chance only. One in the first class will surely make progress and achieve the result at the end. As far as third class a person in Krishna consciousness is concerned, although he has faith in the conviction that devotional service to Krishna is very good, he has not yet gained adequate knowledge of Krishna through the scriptures like Srimad Bhagavata and BhagavadGita. So such person has not got knowledge. So what he needs to do? Read regularly, hear regularly, and get that knowledge so that he comes to second level. Sometimes this third class person, Krishna consciousness, have some tendency towards karma yoga and jnana yoga, and sometimes they are disturbed. But as soon as the infection of karma yoga, jnana yoga is vanquished, they become second class or first class person. So what happens when one reads? Gradually, all the other tendencies will go away, and gradually he will come to the conclusion that bhakti is the all. So sometimes when we start bhakti in our neophyte stage, there is some karma yoga mix, there is some jnana yoga which is mixed, and there is no pure bhakti actually. But gradually, when we gradually develop, we also start practicing pure bhakti. So faith in Krishna is also divided into three stages and described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. First class attachment, second class attachment, third class attachment. And I also explained in Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto. Those who have no faith, even after hearing about Krishna and the excellence of devotional service, who think that is simply eulogy, find the path very difficult, even if they are supposedly engaged in devotional service. For them, it is very little hope of gaining perfection. Thus, faith is very important in the discharge of devotional service. So, if we don't have faith, very difficult. And there are levels of faith which go on increasing as we go on doing things. So, the only key thing in devotional service is consistency. Consistency, we wake up early, consistently we chant our rounds, consistently we do devotional practices, and things will be taken care of. So next verse, fourth. So how this material world is maintained by Krishna's energy, this is explained 4 to 6. Let's see verse number 4. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina matstani sarva bhutani na chaham teshu avasthita. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. So, it is said that I pervade the entire universe. So, this whole material world is pervaded by Krishna. As I am in everything. So, everything contains Krishna. Every atomic particle contains Krishna. Everything is contains. I am everything. In my unmanifested form, invisible to material senses. So he cannot be seen. It's like the example will come actually further. If you see a necklace. So necklace, we can see the beads, but we cannot see the thread. But thread is the main component which is holding the necklace. As soon as the thread is cut, the whole necklace is gone down. Therefore, we should think that behind everything which is happening, there is something which is invisible, which is taking care of. And we cannot see that. So, but I am not in them. So, but I am not in them means I am not dependent on them. I am aloof and detached. See, Krishna is saying sitting in every living entity as Paramatma. But I am not in them means he is not attached to them or not dependent to them. So, is aloof and detached. So, aloof and detached means whatever the living entity does, he does not interfere. As long as we do not want to go to Krishna, Krishna will never interfere in life. But as soon as when Krishna sees that there is some inclination, some endeavor from our side, then Krishna will do the needful. And then our progress will be very fast. So purport, the Supreme Personality of God is not perceivable through the gross material senses. It is said, Adadi Sri Krishna Namadi Na Bhavet Grahim Indriya sevan mukho hi jivadau swayameva sprati adau. So Lord Krishna's name, fame, pastimes, etc. cannot be understood by material senses. So all these things, name, fame, pastime, we cannot understand actually. Uh, only one who's engaged in pure devotional service under the proper guidance is he revealed. So actually what we are doing is we are just taking the names. And if Krishna is pleased, he will reveal us. Oh, I am here and there. This is what it is. Otherwise, we cannot understand by our material senses. It's very difficult. But only one who is engaged in pure devotional service, proper guidance, under proper guidance is revealed. So he reveals himself. In the Brahma Samhita 5.38, it is stated, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundara Chintya Guna Swarupam Govindamadi Purusham Damam Bhajami. One can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, always within himself and outside himself if one has developed the transcendental loving attitude towards him. So it is love by which we can see him. It is only love. Otherwise, we cannot see him. Therefore, Krishna was there in front of Arjuna also and Duryodhana also. But Duryodhana could not see Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, whereas Arjuna could, because there was no love. And therefore, it is only love through which we can see Krishna. Thus, for the people in general, he is not visible. So, general people cannot see him. Here it is said that although he is all pervading, everywhere present, he is not conceivable by the material senses. This is indicated here by the word avyakta murtina. But actually, although we cannot see him, everything is resting in him. As we have discussed in the 7th chapter of the entire cosmic manifestation is only a combination of these two energies, the superior, the spiritual energy, and the inferior material energy. Just as the sunshine is spread all over the universe, the energy of the Lord is spread all over the creation, and everything is resting on that energy. So we cannot touch the sun, we cannot go on the sun planet, but still we can feel the sun planet through his rays. Every day we see the sun, at least in India, even maybe sometimes, maybe weather is very bad condition. Otherwise, every day we see the sun comes through the light and through the heat, we can conclude that sun is there. Similarly, through different energies, we can feel that the Lord is there all over the world. The different kind of creation, the world, the way it functions. So we can understand that there is Lord. And everything rests on the Supreme Lord. Yet one should not conclude that because he is spread all over, he has lost his personal existence. No, even if he is spread all over, he is still personally present. To refute such an argument, the Lord says, I am everywhere and everything is in me, but still I am aloof. For example, a king heads the government, which is but the manifestation of the king's energy. The different governmental departments are nothing but the energies of the king, and each department is resting on the king's power. But still, one cannot expect the king to be present in every department personally. That is a crude example. So we see that the king is there, he's heading all the department, but doesn't mean that king is personally present in all the department. But still, his influence is there in all the department. If he says something, everybody needs to follow. And therefore, each department is resting on the king's power. It's a very important thing to know that everything is resting on king's power. And the king can do and can change things as he likes. But still, one cannot expect the king to be present in each department personally. So we cannot expect that Krishna can be there, but actually this is an example of king. Otherwise, we can expect Krishna to be there and Krishna can be there. Similarly, all the manifestations that we see and everything that exists, both in the material world and spiritual world, are resting on the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The creation takes place by the diffusion of its different energies, and as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Vistabhyam idam Krishnam, he is everywhere present by his personal representation, the diffusion of his different energies. So we know that Krishna is everywhere present by different energies, and therefore we bow down to different energies as they are representing Krishna. And in this way, we can understand and we can feel the presence of Krishna everywhere. And therefore, one should always feel the presence of Krishna. Like example is given, like sometimes that a lover always feels the presence of the beloved, whatever he or she does. Sometimes he or she sees a flower and thinks, oh, this flower was given by me, like by lover, or this one. Every time that is the spurti comes. Similarly, for us also, that spurti should come every time, that by seeing everything we remember Krishna. And therefore, in chapter 10 also we see Krishna gives his Vibhuti Yoga, that how you can see Krishna everywhere. And therefore, this is the context that one should go deeper and deeper in Krishna consciousness. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.